Have you ever wondered why some breeders own expensive bloodlines, yet still struggle to produce healthy, consistent offspring? Many people believe success depends only on buying famous bloodlines, but experienced breeders know that's only part of the story. In reality, some of the biggest setbacks happen because of simple mistakes that can be avoided. These mistakes may affect growth, health, consistency, and the long-term quality of a breeding program. In today's documentary, we'll discuss 10 common breeding mistakes that many beginners make, and how understanding them can help you build a stronger, healthier flock over time. Let's get started. Successful breeding isn't just about owning well-known bloodlines. It's about observation, patience, planning, and responsible management. Many respected breeders spent years developing their breeding programs through careful record-keeping, selecting healthy birds, and learning from experience. Whether you're raising gamefowl or other backyard poultry, avoiding common mistakes can make a significant difference over the long term. Let's begin with one of the most common problems. Mistake number 1, buying a name instead of quality. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is purchasing birds based only on the popularity of a bloodline. A famous bloodline name may attract attention, but names alone do not guarantee quality. Every breeding family depends on how it has been managed over generations. Experienced breeders usually evaluate the individual bird first. They observe overall health, body structure, vitality, and consistency before making breeding decisions. This is why two birds carrying the same bloodline name may still be very different. Instead of asking, "What bloodline is this?" a better question is, "How has this family been maintained?" Responsible breeding always looks beyond labels. Mistake number 2, using unhealthy birds for breeding. Healthy offspring usually begin with healthy parents. Selecting birds that show signs of poor health, weakness, or physical defects may increase the chances of passing undesirable traits to future generations. Responsible breeders pay close attention to overall condition before choosing breeding stock. They observe posture, feather quality, appetite, activity level, and general wellness. Healthy breeding birds provide a stronger foundation for future generations. Good breeding starts long before eggs are produced. It begins with careful selection.
Mistake number 3, failing to keep breeding records. Many beginners believe they can remember every breeding combination, but after several breeding seasons, important details become difficult to recall. Which birds produced the healthiest offspring? Which family showed the most consistency? Without written records, these questions become harder to answer. Experienced breeders often keep simple notes that include parent information, hatch dates, growth observations, and other useful details. These records help improve future breeding decisions. Breeding without records often means repeating the same mistakes. Breeding with records creates opportunities for continuous improvement. Mistake number 4, expecting results too quickly. Perhaps the biggest mistake of all is expecting immediate success. Building a respected breeding family takes time. It may require several generations of careful observation and selection before consistent characteristics become established. Many experienced breeders understand that patience is one of the most valuable tools in any breeding program. Instead of constantly changing direction, they evaluate results carefully, make thoughtful adjustments, and continue learning from each generation. Successful breeding is rarely about speed, it is about consistency over time, and that patience often separates long-term success from short-term disappointment. Mistake number 5, overcrowding your flock. One of the most overlooked mistakes in poultry management is overcrowding. Many beginners believe that keeping more birds in a limited space saves money and effort. However, overcrowding often creates unnecessary stress among birds. When space becomes limited, birds may compete more frequently for food, water, resting areas, and personal space. Poor ventilation may also develop, creating conditions that can negatively affect overall flock health. Responsible breeders understand the importance of giving every bird enough room to move naturally. Proper housing is not simply about comfort, it also supports cleaner surroundings, better observation, and healthier daily management. Sometimes, having fewer birds in excellent condition is far better than keeping many birds under poor conditions. Quality should always come before quantity.
Mistake number 6, neglecting cleanliness. Clean surroundings are one of the foundations of successful poultry management. Unfortunately, some beginners pay close attention to bloodlines while overlooking sanitation. Dirty feeders, contaminated water containers, wet flooring, and accumulated waste can all increase the risk of health problems.
Experienced breeders usually establish a regular cleaning routine. Fresh water is provided consistently. Feed containers are cleaned regularly. Housing areas are kept dry whenever possible. Good sanitation does more than improve appearance. It creates an environment where birds have a better opportunity to remain healthy throughout the year. A clean breeding program reflects a disciplined breeder. Mistake number 7, ignoring nutrition. Another common mistake is assuming that all feed produces the same results. Nutrition plays an important role in growth, body condition, feather quality, and overall development. Birds require balanced nutrition appropriate for their stage of growth. Young chicks have different nutritional needs than mature breeding stock. Providing clean water every day is equally important. Even the highest quality feed cannot replace proper hydration. Responsible breeders often pay close attention to feeding schedules, feed quality, and body condition, rather than simply feeding large quantities. Balanced nutrition supports long-term health. Overfeeding or poor quality feeding programs may create unnecessary problems that could have been prevented. Mistake number 8, introducing new birds without observation. Many breeders become excited after acquiring new birds. However, one important step is sometimes forgotten: observation before introducing new arrivals into the existing flock. New birds may appear healthy while still carrying illnesses or parasites that are not immediately visible. For this reason, many experienced poultry keepers choose to observe newly acquired birds separately for a period before placing them with the rest of the flock. This simple management practice helps reduce unnecessary risks and allows time to monitor overall health and behavior. Patience during this stage can help protect the health of the entire breeding program. Responsible management is often about preventing problems before they happen.
Mistake number 9, changing your breeding plan too often. One mistake that many beginners make is constantly changing their breeding direction. A breeder may hear about a new bloodline, purchase new birds, then completely change the breeding program after only a short period. While learning and improving are important, frequent changes make it difficult to evaluate results. Successful breeding programs are usually built through consistency. Experienced breeders often give themselves enough time to observe several generations before making major decisions. Patience allows patterns to become clearer. When breeding goals constantly change, progress becomes much harder to measure. A long-term plan often produces better results than constantly chasing the newest trend. Mistake number 10, stopping the learning process. Perhaps the greatest mistake any breeder can make is believing there is nothing left to learn. The world of poultry breeding continues to evolve. New research, new management practices, and new breeding experiences continue to improve our understanding. Many respected breeders remain lifelong students. They observe, they ask questions, they compare notes, and they continue improving their breeding programs year after year. Knowledge is one of the most valuable investments a breeder can make. The more you learn, the better prepared you become to make responsible decisions for future generations. As we've seen throughout this documentary, successful breeding is not built on expensive bloodlines alone. It is built on careful observation, responsible management, patience, and a willingness to keep learning. Avoiding these 10 common mistakes can help create a healthier, more organized, and more consistent breeding program over time. Every respected breeder started as a beginner. The difference is that they learned from experience, remained patient, and continued improving with each generation. Remember, the strongest breeding programs are rarely built overnight. They are built through years of thoughtful decisions and responsible care.
Before we end today's video, which of these 10 mistakes do you think is the most common? Have you learned an important lesson from your own breeding experience? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences may help other breeders continue learning and improving. If you enjoy educational content about gamefowl breeding, bloodlines, genetics, and responsible poultry management, please support Chicken Matter Talks by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications so you never miss future documentaries. Every successful breeding program begins with knowledge. Every respected bloodline reflects years of careful selection, and every breeder has the opportunity to continue learning. Thank you for watching Chicken Matter Talks. Keep learning, keep observing, and we'll see you in our next educational documentary.